Hello everyone and welcome to another training video. So here we are going to land on runway 01 at Cape Town International Airport using ILS. But this time we are heading towards the airport, but we will first enter a holding pattern. So I will explain how to make a direct entry to the holding pattern, fly the holding pattern, and then how to descend and do our ILS approach and eventually land at the airport. So once again, because I won't be able to show the chart in game, I will show it separately, explain to you how to read and interpret the chart, and then we will get back into the helicopter and fly the pattern and descend, fly the ILS approach and land at the airport. So I highly recommend either you download the chart if the Cape Town International Airport runway 01 ILS approach, or when I will be showing the chart on the screen, you can make a screenshot and then you can just refer to it while we will be explaining the maneuvers. This is the chart we will be using, Cape Town International ILS runway 01. So the elevation is 151 and we are going to be coming from here, okay, and we'll make a direct entry to the traffic pattern. So in order to be able to fly this part here, because it's from 4,500 to 9,000, okay, so what I will do is I will come at 9,000, and once I reach on the DME 6.7 DME, the Cape Town VOR, which is CTV, I will turn to the left. Usually traffic patterns are flown to the right, but here it's on the left, so you have to use the information you have on the chart. So 6.7 DME, this is when I'm gonna start my left turn, and once I complete my left turn, I start the clock. And if you don't have a clock like in the helicopter I'm gonna use, I just use the clock, the second, the longest needle. After 1 minute I will turn left again and back inbound, and then keep doing this. Usually it will tell you, for example, now we are not going to do a missed approach, but for missed approach it will tell you to hold for 5 minutes like here. But when you are in a traffic pattern, usually it's ATC who is going to tell you when to descend or not. So to recap, our heading will be 011 because we are in fact coming for the ILS runway 01, but we are told to hold at 9,000 feet, so that's why we will be flying 011 here, and here it will be 191. Okay, so once again 091, 191. So here 091, 011, I will be already using the nav because I will already tune my VOR and the course, so I can use nav mode for the autopilot. But here I will be using heading mode, as you will see in the demonstration. Okay, and then once we are inbound here, we will start our descent initially to 4,500, and then when we are at 4,500, at some point here we will start our descent to 3,000, and then when we are at 3,000 we will start our descent to 2,000, and from 2,000 we can capture the localizer and you continue our ILS approach to runway 01 at Cape Town International. So there it is. We're going to be at 9,000 and then descend to 4,500 to 3,000 and to 2,000, and then from 2,000 continue the ILS approach. And since we're not going to land on the runway as we usually do, we will overfly the runway and then land on the helipad. Once again, I'm not going to be showing this chart again, so what I will do is I will just put the full chart on the screen so that you can either make a print screen, or it's better if you can download it from the internet, the Cape Town International ILS runway 01, so that you can follow along while we'll be doing the flight. We're back in the helicopter, so I'm flying at 9,000 feet as already explained, and I'm inbound towards 6.7 DME for the CTV VOR, and as soon as I reach 6.7, this is when, as you saw on the chart, we are going to do a left turn. So I've already set the frequency for the VOR here and here for the ILS, so that after we make our descent, we can switch to VOR2 for the ILS approach. So first we have to fly the traffic pattern. So here I've already set the course, okay, towards the radial 192. So reciprocal, it will be 011. So this will be inbound, and outbound we will be using the heading. So it's going to be very easy. You see the bird here, to make sure that it's going to make a left turn, since here it's on nav. Before we switch to heading, we'll turn the heading bug to the left here, okay. And then an easy way to make it fly exactly the opposite direction is to then position the heading bug here, as you will see. So we are still at 9,000 feet, so I'm gonna unpause the simulator in a moment, and when we reach 6.7, this is when we will start our left turn. And then once we have completed our left turn, we will use the clock to fly 1 minute on that outbound leg, and then once 1 minute has passed, we'll switch back to the inbound. So I'm going to unpause the simulator now. So already 6.8, 6.7. So this is when I let the helicopter do the initial left turn and then continue to position the heading bug exactly at the opposite side of the arrow. There it is. And once it has completed the turn, we will count 1 minute. And usually you will be told when to descend and all, but here, since we are not using ATC, we will be descending ourselves. So here we are. There it is. So 1 minute. So here it is. So 5. So when that needle reaches 5 again, because this does not have a timer. If you had one, it will be much easier. So once it reaches 5 again, it will have completed 1 minute. So as you can see, now we are flying outbound. Okay, so getting ready. So here what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna initially turn using the heading, and then I will capture, because it's already on course here. So once it reaches 5 here, it will have completed 1 minute. There you go. So I start, as you can see, it's making the turn. The turn, and then I will simply tell him to capture. It will have either armed or now, as you can see, it's already capturing. So that as soon as once again it has completed its turn, we will count 1 minute. Okay. There it is. We can consider that it has completed, so 1 minute. But honestly here you don't have to count the 1 minute, because as soon as it reaches 6.7 on the DME, this is when you start your left turn again. Usually it's a right turn, but as you saw in the chart, it's left turn. You follow the instructions as per the chart. So here you could use the timer, but priority here is as per instructions. So at 6.7 you have to take a left turn here, and then the next time we are inbound again, we will start our descent to, first step is going to be 4,500 feet. We're preparing. So already have my bug here. So 6.7. Okay, now I make the left turn again. So we are flying that racetrack pattern you saw on the chart. And this time I will use the timer once the turn is complete. And in the meantime, we can already prepare to descend to 4,500. Let it complete the turn so that I can see. Okay, there it is. So 8. In the meantime here I will input 4,500 here. So when we will be turning inbound again, we will start our descent. And since we will be descending, I will also reduce my airspeed to 80 knots to make it more maneuverable. Okay, so here almost 1 minute. There it is, 8. 1 minute. So heading first. Just to initiate the turn, I will use the heading bug. Let the helicopter start the turn, and then click on nav. It will either arm, or in this case it's capturing. Fine. And I like to wait a little bit until at least the helicopter is heading in the right direction before starting my descent. And yeah, I can already start my descent here. So as you can see, now we're going to descend, and we will continue flying the pattern until we reach this altitude. So since we are inbound, once again, that's what we are going to be using. And of course, because we will be slower now, we are at 80 knots, the outbound, when we will be counting 1 minute, we will be traveling less distance. But still, when inbound, you use the 6.7 fix. So I already positioned my heading bug in this direction here. So technically we are already beginning our descent in view to land at the airport, because I'm not going to land on the runway. I'm gonna descend to the runway, but as we were doing in the previous videos. So getting ready to switch to heading. Oh, it's 9, 6.8, 6.7. There we go. Let it do the initial turn, and then I will position the heading bug exactly at the other end of the arrow there. And once it completed turn, same thing, we'll just keep an eye on the clock here. And of course I've already set the altimeter. So as soon as it starts to stabilize here, okay, so I'm gonna say 5. So once that long needle, second needle gets back to 5, I will start the left turn again for inbound. It goes without saying that I've already, like we did for ILS approach, I've already tuned in the right frequency, and since we are going to be using VOR2, I've already set the course for VOR2. Since we're on heading mode here, I can show you. Okay, already set the course for VOR2. So still descending, I'm guessing we will have to make another turn, and then on the outbound leg we can descend to 3,000 feet as per the chart. So here we go. Where's my heading bag? Oops, sorry, anticipated. Now we go. Initiate the turn. Let the helicopter make the left turn, as you can see here. Reason why I'm not looking outside, usually it's an instrument approach. So now I arm the nav, still descending. And by the way, instrument does not mean you must have no visibility or poor visibility. No, you can do it in fine weather. You're just using your instrument to fly the helicopter with precision. So that's why instrument flying is. Some people might believe it's only when you can't see outside, it's stormy, or no. You can use it anytime, it's just for precision. And you can use it at night too, which we will be covering after a night flight. So here, once again, since we are inbound, we are going to be using the DMA to initiate the left turn for outbound. And we should be reaching 4,500. Already position my cursor here. So we'll have to go another round. There we go, heading. Let the helicopter start the turn, and then put this back. Now this was a direct entry to the holding pattern. Then we will show also the parallel entry and teardrop entry. Those are the 3 strongly recommended pattern entry, because all the maneuvers have to be done inside the traffic pattern area. There we go, so timer starts. 11. And we're going to be at 4,500. So we can already start our descent, because we are outbound. Start our descent to 3,000. This is started on the outbound leg as per the chart. There you go. Same thing here. Once we are on at an altitude of 3,000, we turn inbound, and then we will capture the ILS. So almost there. There you are, 1 minute, so initiate the turn. We are descending, no problem. At 3000, and now it's going to capture. And here once again, inbound, we are going to be using the DME. There we go. Now we can switch to ILS. Almost there. Not yet. Way too high, the glide slope is way too low, so when turning we'll start a descent to 2000 feet, and we should have already started the turn here. Go heading. Let it turn. Start to descend at 2000. Where you are here. Oops. What are you doing to me? There you are. We are on the outbound leg, and next time we turn we'll be able to capture the glide slope. Okay, so still heading. There you go. Start our turn. Switch to VOR2. ILS. That goes. Captured nav. On the ILS for glide slope, we're going to be capturing from under. That's the ideal way to do it. And once again, I like to set my heading back even if it's not doing anything here. Okay, now we'll just let the helicopter do its thing. Show you when it captures the, there it is, glide slope. Now we just have to look at the runway, and once we You are ready to manually fly the aircraft, the helicopter. We'll switch to manual. In the meantime, let me check the weather. It was very windy last time. 16 knots, lots of wind. For helicopter, it's a lot. 16 knots. You are going to have a straight windsock as last time, and yeah, it's moderate to strong wind depending on the helicopter. And since we are light, it's only me and the instructor weight, and the weight of the helicopter, of course, but still, 16 knots is going to be considered strong wind. Moderate to strong wind, like I said. For a Robinson R22, it's a strong wind. Usually it's considered strong wind. Maybe for this helicopter we can consider it moderate, since we are lightly, not even 50% gross weight, so yeah, it can be moderate to strong wind. So now once again I'm gonna disconnect the autopilot because as already pointed out, I have to match my collective with collective in the helicopter. So there you go. Now hand flying the helicopter, and just checking, I like to switch it back to SAS when I'm hand flying the helicopter. And now I know where the helipads are at the Cape Town International Airport. If you watched the previous video, I did land but could not locate the helipads, but then there was a bonus content where I was looking for the helipads and found them. So this time we'll try to hover taxi directly to the helipads, but with that strong wind, moderate to strong wind, like I said. The helicopter, once you change its position in relation to the wind, lots of things have to be taken into consideration. Headwind, the helicopter will turn to gain altitude to the side. It will get pushed, of course, but it will tend to lose altitude. Tailwind, it will lose altitude, so you have to take all those things into consideration. Ready. You can't see what my hands and feet are doing, but yep. So we have a tailwind actually. Just for the example, I did that approach, but actually I should have used the other runway, but in order to make it as simple and depending on from which airport I'm taking off and all, as you can see, a straight windsock, which means that we will have to turn once we get to the, and that's why I kind of grabbed here. Might seem easy, but trust me, it's not that easy to be flying in those conditions. Like here, you can't see exactly how I'm manipulating the collective, the pedals, and it's on the most realistic setting once again, and the slightest, as you can see, you have to anticipate those things. I wish I was able to also show you the hands and feet. So now I'm really moving the collective and using the pedals accordingly as per what the helicopter is asking. And that's probably going to be the trickiest part when we will have to do the pedal turn. Let's bring this to a hover. Okay, as so I did find the helipad properly this time. So when you see your helicopter getting pushed, at the same time you need to complete your turn, and when you turn headwind, now the helicopter wants to climb. Not as easy as it seems, and the beginners there will kind of understand what's going on here. And now just trying to land this helicopter with that. Given the circumstances, I think I did good. Yeah. How are you, Ezio? Scared? So there you are. It was how to make a direct entry into a holding pattern without a missed approach. Okay, this when doing it from a missed approach is going to be different, which we will be doing, of course, but it was a direct entry to a holding pattern while going towards the airport. How we flew the holding pattern, how we descended, and at which point we descended to what altitude, and then we did the ILS approach to the runway, and we did not land on the runway, but we overflew the runway and we landed on our helipad with once again 16 knots of wind. So I hope you find this video helpful. If you do, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in another video. Until then, take care. Bye bye.